The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi, welcome everybody. We are going to be doing the LifeLong Links branding webinar this afternoon, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Erin Kurth, who is our Public Information Officer, and she's going to go ahead and get us started.
Okay, so we're going to walk through LifeLong Links branding today. I know that a lot of you have had questions about marketing and branding, so we're going to go through this. There'll be time for questions at the end, so we can definitely go over anything that you have or anything that you've been thinking about as far as marketing. But I'll just go through the branding webinar to begin with and kind of give you an overview, and we'll go from there. Can I just use it? Perfect. All right. So on our agenda today, we're going to go through branding as an overview. We're going to talk about adhering to brand standards. We're going to talk about the branding toolkit that you will get following this webinar. We'll talk about using and customizing those templates that are in there, how to request technical assistance if you need to, and then the creative review and approval process, so everybody's on the same page when it comes to that. So to start, the LifeLong Links branding, the Iowa Department on Aging contracted with Trilix, is an agency here in Des Moines, to develop a new look and feel for LifeLong Links. Our scope of work there included designing a new logo, tagline, color palette, website. And so what we've been doing, I think you had your temporary branding webinar was in March, and since that time, Ruth has been working diligently to get this stuff going, and we're now to a point where we're close to being able to roll everything out. But the website, we're still getting putting some finishing touches on that, but I can show you what that's going to look like. But we do have everything else ready for you today. We're also in the process of trademarking the logo. So with that, of course, consistency becomes more important than ever. In order for us to create and maintain a trademark, we have to use a logo consistently, and the only way that we could ever go back and legally represent ourselves as having that trademark and using it is if we do use it consistently. If we use it outside of our brand standards, or you know, just kind of make things up as we go, then it's harder to stand in a court of law and say that this is why we believe we should maintain our trademark. So as we're going through that process, it's important to know that consistency is huge. So real quick, a brand in marketing is the idea or image of a specific product or service that consumers connect with by identifying name, logo, slogan, or design of the company who owns the idea or image. So marketing that brand helps the company, or in this case our service, become more and more recognizable among our target audience, and will help us to enhance its reputation. And so to protect the LifeLong Links brand, we have to adhere to brand standards. And following brand standards will help us define the brand and make it more memorable. It will help us reinforce our key messages. And right there I've got our boilerplate language as far as how we're describing LifeLong Links. So we're saying that it's Iowa's Aging and Disability Resource Center, whose purpose is to expand and enhance the state's information and referral resources for aging and/or disabled Iowans and their caregivers as they begin to think about and plan for long-term independent living. And this boilerplate language will be in the style and guidelines sheet that you get, but so you're all familiar with it. That's language then that anytime you're doing a press release, an article, a brochure, anything like that, we want to be consistent and use the same language when describing the program. Also, following the brand standards will help us improve awareness among our target audiences and establish a sense of teamwork among all of us, as well as any of our future partners, and make sure that as we're looking to meet those different contract specifications and reach different audiences, that we're able to do that in a consistent manner. So the contracts and agreements all require the AAAs and partner organizations to adhere to brand and style guidelines when representing LifeLong links. And these, I want you to know, we've put together to provide some general guidance to you. But please know that this document is dynamic, and it's going to evolve over time. It's going to change as we experience new things. As those of you, if something arises and may affect one of you right now, but 6 months down the road may affect everybody, then we'll go ahead and make those changes. So this is not a set in stone. This is what you see here today is what's going to be here forever. But it is a good starting point, and it's a good place. If there are any questions, or if there's anything that we ever need to point back to a document, at least we have a good starting point. So the branding toolkit that you'll receive following this webinar will include the branding and style guidelines document. It will include logos. There are 10 logos in the kit that you will receive, 5 versions each with and without the tagline. They are all represented in Illustrator and EPS versions for those of you who need vector files, JPEG and PNG versions for those of you that need to use them in Microsoft products. If you have any questions, if any of that sounds like Greek to you, please don't hesitate to call me, and I've got my contact information will be in here a little bit later. Also, this PowerPoint we're going to archive and will be on the website for you to reference as well. Also in the toolkit, we've got graphic elements. So you see this kind of wave look across the bottom. That's in there so that you can use that if you need to. We were just talking about taking a letterhead, for example, and maybe you need a landscape page. Then this will, you can go ahead and use that to insert into a Word document if you need to, or whatever, so that you can make sure that you're staying consistent. And that will also be available in all of those different versions, Illustrator, EPS, JPEG, and PNG. Also have letterhead in there, and that's in a Word document. We've got business cards, we've got a PowerPoint template, and we've got an overview brochure of the program. So real quick, just wanted to give you an idea of what this is all looking like. You've seen the wave on the bottom of this PowerPoint. You saw the little logo as we've been going through. But here's where we are at right now with website design. We are still, like I said, not completely finished with it. We're getting there, but we're not where we want to be. But we do have, obviously, we've got a color palette established. We've got the logo here. This is obviously it's placeholder, so please don't look at this and think that that's what is going to be on the website. But we were trying to show, as far as dynamic images and other logos that we have to have on there per contracts and whatnot. I also included here just front and second page letterhead that will be in there for you to use, and idea of what our business cards will look like. So here's one that we did for Ruth. This would be the front of the business card, and this template will be in there. It's in Publisher. It's also in there as a PDF in case you are sending them out to print. You can fill in all the information, obviously, for the person, but this is available so that you can print it on your desktop as well. If you're going to do a full version business card for LifeLong links, then you could use this back, which is just full color. It's got bleeds to the side. I know this will use up a lot of ink if you're doing in-house printing, so this is more probably for somebody that's going to be sending out of house. And if you want a back on your business card, that's obviously completely up to you and does not have to be. But it's just more and more business cards, to make them look more professional, have backs to them now. So this includes just again the URL and the phone number. And then I did a separate back where if, for example, you want to keep your own business card that you have and you just want to print a new back to your business card, this one includes the LifeLong links information and logo, and it's complete. So you don't need to worry about if you've got, you know, your own front. You could use this as a back if you wanted to print a backside. So using the front with this back, or using the front, or sorry, this back with your front, or any combination should work. So if you have any questions about that, you can let me know, but all of those versions will be in the toolkit. So I will send the toolkit as a zip file to all the AAA directors following the webinar. This is pretty much the easiest way I can think of doing this, and they can distribute it to who needs to receive it. If for any reason at all, though, you need it or you need a piece out of there that you want to contact me directly for, you can do that. And then some pieces will also be archived on our website, and this is a new page. I think this should go. And this is showing you, so we will be archiving all webinars. This is the contract walkthrough that we went through on the 20th. These are FAQs as they've come in. Joel had asked me to place some questions that we get online so that you guys will be able to reference back to those and see answers. And then down here is the branding toolkit. So again, we've got branding and style guidelines as a PDF. We've got the color logo with the tagline as a JPEG if you need other versions or file types. And you don't have the toolkit or you need help, you can call me. This is my direct phone number. We've got letterhead on here, the PowerPoint template, and then the overview brochure as a PDF. And I'll go ahead and show that to you too, just so that you have an idea of what we're doing there. And it's good to show this to you also because right here, so this PDF, obviously it's got bleeds all the way to the side, it's 4-color. This is set up print ready. So you could send this file to a printer and have them print professional copies and fold it for you. There's also within the toolkit, there's an in-house version. I know that not all of you have the money, the resources, nor the desire to send out brochures. So what we've done is created this, and then I went back through and resized it with margins. As we'll print to on a PDF, you know, you're always going to have white space around the edges. So I went ahead and resized it then, so when you print it and fold it, it will work. You won't have to do any magic to it. It should be desktop printer ready. So 2 different versions of the brochure in there. So using the toolkit templates, first I'm going to encourage you to read the branding and style guidelines document. This is going to have everything you need to know about our brand in it. It's going to talk about how you can use the logo, what different versions of the logo are available, what kind of spacing you need around the logo, how big the logo has to be. All that kind of like technical thing that only a graphic designer or somebody that's kind of geeky into this stuff like I am, it probably doesn't make a lot of sense to a lot of you, but it will tell you exactly how you can use the logo, how it can be represented, if you can change the colors, which you can't, but it tells you that in there. If it can be, you know, what different things you can do. It also has style guidelines in there. So branding talks about how we use the logo, how we use things consistently. The style that is included in there says, you know, when we say lifelong links, lifelong is always going to be one word. The second L in lifelong is always going to be capitalized. It's trademark, so when do you use the trademark? When can you use LLL as an abbreviation? Things like that. So all of that information is in here. It's about 13 pages, I think. So definitely give that, look through that before you start doing anything with branding, and I think it will give you some pretty clear directions. If after reading that you're confused, don't understand anything, please give me a call or send me an email. All the templates in the toolkit are designed in Microsoft Office applications, so they're able for you to open and customize as necessary following the brand standards. I think this is exactly the same as the temporary branding was provided to you when you had the letterhead and the business cards and everything that Ruth rolled out in March. This is the same exact type of thing, so there should be, hopefully it's just opening a different template and putting your information in. Otherwise, it's pretty self-explanatory. And then I did talk already about 2 versions of the brochure that are provided. So, and that's an overview brochure. Anytime that you want to do anything that is more specific to a certain targeted audience or anything like that, let me know. If you need to make any modifications to any of the templates that are in there, you need to let us know so that we can make sure you get an approved template and that you're not just you know, hanging out there. Hopefully I'll be able to help you with the design piece of that so that you're not having to find those resources on your end. But just need to make sure that if there's anything that you don't have within the toolkit that you think you need, you let me know. So to request technical assistance, as promised, here's my direct phone number and my email. If you need, like I said, a template or a marketing piece that's not in the branding toolkit, let me know. If you need help customizing something, if you open it and you don't know how to do something, or if it's not working for you, or you've got something kind of a one-off that needs some help, let me know. Or if you've got a partner organization that needs a customized template or needs assistance, they can contact me as well. So hopefully we'll do our best here to keep any design costs on the department and off of your shoulders. Once you have a piece complete, like I said, the logo has to remain as it's been created and approved, and you'll see that within that branding and style guidelines sheet. But alterations are not acceptable, so you can't twist it or turn it green or something like that. But there are, as I mentioned, there are 10 different logos in the toolkit. There's an all-white logo, there's a one-color logo, there's a black and white logo. You really, hopefully, should not have any problem with anything that you would need to do. If you do run into some issue, let me know, and we'll see if we can figure out a way around that. But for the most part, you should be good to go as far as logos. Any modifications to any of the branded materials that we're providing to you, you need to submit to us for pre-approval before you print it and before you distribute it. And all we're asking is go ahead and do what you will to it, get it to where you're happy with it, and then send the proof to me at least 24 hours ahead of when you need final approval. That way, yeah, business hours. And that way we'll be able to make any changes or help you any way that we need to before it goes out, so everybody is on the same page. We don't want you to miss any deadlines, but by the same token, we, again, just need to stress consistency. And that's all I have. So if I will open it up to questions. I know that I talked kind of quickly, but if you have any questions about anything we just talked about or other marketing questions, you can let me know. I did want to go ahead and let you know that we, per the contract, had a November 3rd deadline where we had to submit a marketing plan overview. We have done that. We are now working on getting that finalized in-house and trying to determine the 2 tiers. So there's a statewide marketing effort, and then there will be a localized marketing effort. Both of those are included in the marketing plan, and so we are working on getting that finalized. Hopefully we'll get that out to you by a week from today for you to review what your part will be, and then going from there, it would be getting back the final version of that to IDHS by the 1st of December for implementation then by the 15th. So just to give you an overview, because I don't have any of that information involved or included in the toolkit or in this branding webinar, I wanted to let you know what we're kind of thinking about. It would be distributing printed copies of the overview brochure to DHS office and local coordination centers, placing the LifeLong Links logo in a prominent location on your website homepage as a hot link, so it would go somewhere hopefully toward the top and in very visible location, but that would be a direct link to the LifeLong Links site. If you need any assistance doing that, let me know. We can get, it's a pretty easy thing to do, but we'll get you set up. We also would be asking any partner organizations to do the same with that reciprocal link. What else? Distribute printed copies of some target population-specific brochures and to DHS office and to local coordination centers. And so that would be both digital and print versions. So basically, I mean, your job in this will be taking materials that we develop and getting them to the right locations. Another thing is that we would like you to, AAAs and partner organizations, to develop a LifeLong Links display that adheres to brand and style guidelines. So that would be banners, tablecloth, brochures, posters, those kinds of things that you take out when you go to conferences or vendor fairs or those kinds of things, trade shows. And then what we would want you to do is to identify in the first, I guess by the end of January is kind of what we're looking at, but identify at least 4 local or regional trade shows that you could go to with LifeLong Links, where that would be an appropriate, or the target audience for that conference or event would be an appropriate one for LifeLong Links, and promote it at a minimum of 3 of those shows by the end of the contract period. So giving you some time there, but that was something that we wanted to make sure that's in there specifically in the contract, that we need to do presentations. And so that's one of the easiest ways we can do that in a localized manner, is to have you guys handle that for us. There's some printed publications that we would like you to promote LifeLong Links in. Again, it's really, as I'm looking through this, it's really taking pieces that we'll develop for you and getting it out to the right places. And nothing really that is very time-consuming, with the exception of those presentations, figuring out what's right for your audiences. But then, as I mentioned, any marketing or any kind of branded materials whatsoever that you need for your specific population that we can help you with, let us know. We'll develop something. We don't want to put the design time or the resources of having to come up with stuff on your plate. And likely, if you're asking for something, it's something that another AAA would like, or another partner organization would like. So it is probably in everybody's best interest if we do that and can push it out to everybody. So with that, I will open it up to questions if there are any questions.
Okay, I haven't seen anything typed in yet, so I'm going to go ahead and unmute the line. So if you want to take a moment and make sure that your individual lines are muted before I open that up, that will prevent background noise. So I'm going to go ahead and unmute everyone at this time.
Muted.
Okay, we have almost everybody open here. Again, if you can mute your line if you do not have a question, that would prevent background noise. Okay. Are there any questions for Erin? Okay, if no one has any questions, we will go ahead and end this webinar. We will have the webinar posted on our website probably by the end of next week. Thank you all for attending.